good system. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that today we are going to look at a couple of opening lines. And if you don't have a question, tell your sister to come and sit here because I want also to listen to this. Even you should also come and sit. Thank you, Telo. Appreciate it.
But where were you yesterday?
Where was I yesterday? I went to Hemingway's. Do you know what Hemingway's is?
Huh?
Hemingway's is a very nice hotel. We are going to support some organization. So I was working.
Oh, okay.
All right. So today we look at a couple of openings, and what I'm saying about openings is that if you have a coach who's teaching you a particular opening line, something you're already doing, please stick to that. Don't change to what I'm suggesting. This is only for those of us who do not already have an opening line that they already play. Okay? This is the important thing that I want to highlight first and foremost. Then today we're going to look at as black against the Queen's Pawn D4, because a lot of South African children and a lot of Egyptian children play these lines. If we get some time, we look at the London also as black, and we look at the Exchange Queen's Gambit, because a lot of us struggle against those lines. And if we get time, we'll also look at, okay, actually, the training today, tomorrow, and the day after, we'll look at opening lines in general so that you can cover quite a bit for those of us who will need that kind of training. So it's you'll see, you'll tell me if it's good or not. I think it is. It's actually where I'm probably best in terms of training. So let us see if you guys can learn something from it, all right? So as usual, please post your questions in chat. And I want my two daughters to come and sit behind me so they can see what I'm saying. They'll come and sit here. Put your seats here, girls, so you can watch this lesson with the people. You can eat while you watch as well. It's possible to do both. All right, so let me share my screen, guys. All right. Can you see my screen? Thumbs up if you can. Very nice. Okay. So I'll start by the fundamentals of opening. So what are you trying to do in the opening section? The opening section, there are a couple of things. By the way, there's this war taking place in Eastern Europe between Russia and Ukraine. Who knows what Ukraine is asking Russia for the most? You can even see from there. You don't have to come and sit here. Let me see from here. Who knows what Ukraine is asking the US for? What do they want? They want tough weapons, like the big weapons, the jet fighters, the missiles, the air defense. They want like the big guns, not just small items. Do you know why? Because when in a war, you want to bring in the strongest guys. So chess is quite similar. It's actually like a war between two parties. And for you to win a war, you must bring in the big guys. The rooks, the knights, the bishops, the queen, right? You must bring these guys into the game. So what you're trying to do is to get your pieces in. That's called development. The second thing is that there's some, if you look keenly, just this week, Russia announced that they won and they took over a particular town called Pokrovsk. It's a very important town because so many roads are passing through there. There are railway lines, big roads to different places. Like from that place, you can actually supply all the soldiers going to different places. That's a very strategic town to have. In chess, you have something similar, the center of the board. So imagine you have a knight sitting here as black. From here, this knight can go to this side if there's activity here. It can go to this side. It can come back to this side. It can go back to this side. So controlling the center is generally very important because it allows you to have more space, number one. Number two, your pieces can have stations from which they can actually do a lot of things. Then the third thing you want to do is make sure your king is safe. So those are the three things you're trying to do in the opening, and you want to do them as quickly as possible. So those things are control the center, develop your pieces to very active squares, and keep your king safe, normally by castling. So you don't want to waste time moving the same piece twice, doing too many things at the same time, moving so many pawns. Move only those pawns that help your development. And once in a while, you may have to stop a piece from going somewhere, right? So you play a pawn move. But generally, the pawn moves should help your development and should keep your sort of, can I say, maybe necessary once in a while, you may play a move like, let's say, a6 to stop a knight from coming to b5. But that's it. You have to keep that in mind. So don't be in the habit of moving the same piece twice or thrice, trying to hunt pawns, trying to win free pawns in the opening like that. It doesn't work. Develop your pieces, keep your king safe, control the center. So that's what white is trying to do. They play the queen, the pawn to d4, and d4 controls this square, sorry, and also this square at the same time, all right? So the line I play generally right now is d5, d4, d5. There are other lines that you can consider, knight f6. There's so many, they're good. If you have a good system with your coach, stick to those lines. But this is a very simple system to play. And here, there are a number of things that white can try. They can try and play c4 immediately, the queen's gambit. They can play knight f3 first. They can play, they can play bishop to f4, the London system. You're going to look at that at some point. They can play a move like d3, which is a cole, doesn't look, very threatening. So the move we're going to play now is d5. And I'm to pick, let's assume white plays knight f3. And my recommended response to knight f3, they're playing this move to, one, develop a knight to a good square. Number two, this knight is controlling the center, these two squares. Number three, they're getting ready to castle by moving this piece out of the way. Please mute your mics, guys. Please mute your mics. I think that's just Kenya. Just mute, please. And I also, Sarafina, please mute. Sarafina, please mute your mic. Sarafina, please mute your mic. So I'll also play knight f6 for the exact same reasons. So this knight is not threatening me. Every time I just check, is there any threat, something I have to react to? There's nothing to react to at this moment. In these queen's pawn games, we are often castling on the king side. So this knight move controls central squares, develops a knight to a very good square, gets ready to castle, all right? So the line I want to start with is this line, c4. Remember that you're trying to control the center. So this looks like a sacrifice, like a free pawn. Number one, it is not. I can always play a move like this, which is not the very best, and take it back immediately. Or I could even play, after you take it, I play like this. But the important thing is that by taking, by taking this pawn here, you no longer have a pawn in the center, which is different, and you've spent a move. So you spend one move that you could have used developing, and you also take your pawn from the center, and that is generally not a very good idea. So what you want to do, what I'm recommending, is to play this move, e6. Now, remember what we said. We want to develop our pieces. And if you look at the advantage of this pawn move, number one is defending the pawn, so that now, if you take my pawn, I can always take back with my pawn, and I keep a pawn in the center. Remember, one way of controlling the center is having a pawn in the center. So we both have pawns in the center, and I'm very happy as black. The second thing is that it's opening up for my bishop, which if I move now, I can castle. But it has one downside. What is the downside, guys, of this move, if you look at it carefully? What is the downside? Put in chat, guys. I'm lagging while skipping words. Sorry, guys. I hope it blocks the bishop. Thank you, Charlene. Yes. This is the thing. This bishop says, hey guys, I'm not happy. I don't like this idea. So sometimes we look at that, guys, and we feel tempted that before we play this pawn, we play this move. And I see guys doing this a lot, and this is not a good move. I'll explain for the many reasons. This bishop here is not very good, because now you want to play your bishop pawn here and you want to keep your bishop out. In the queen's pawn, when you're playing black, this is not necessarily a good move, especially in this position, for two reasons. The first thing is, when this pawn is picked, now you can't pick back with the pawn. You must pick back with a piece. And that creates a new problem for you because you don't have as much center control as you had before. But something more important, and I'll probably just play a couple of moves. Let's say this. Let me play a move like this, for example. And then now when this queen comes here, all right? Manuel, please mute your mic. Let me mute you. So queen to b3 is attacking this pawn. And you'll find it's not so easy to defend this pawn, because when you move it forward, you create these weaknesses. Okay, here, here, here. These are serious weaknesses. If you move your queen out of the way to come and defend it, so this is very costly to go back trying to defend this pawn. So once you understand these kinds of problems, then you begin to see why sometimes this bishop staying here in the queen's pawn is not a bad idea, especially to keep this pawn defended. We will do something about this bishop later. In the meantime, we are perfectly happy to play the move e6. This is the move that I'm recommending. Keep your bishop here to protect this pawn. Because once the c4 pawn has moved, then the queen can always come to b3, attacking this pawn, and you're very comfortable for the time being, keeping everything solid, all right? So the line that the Egyptians and South Africans play is to take this pawn. Because it's a very simple system. People think it's weak, but if you're not careful as black, you can easily lose. Girls, please pay attention. So here we are taking with the pawn, all right? And one of their main moves is this move here, okay? There are many ideas. I want to very quickly show some moves. Let's say here and here. So I'm moving this forward a little bit. I'll come back to explain. But I want to explain a very simple pawn structure, which is something very important. This pawn structure is called the Carlsbad pawn structure, where black has pawns here, okay, or like there are 3 pawns on this side, then there's a break, and then there are these 3 pawns in a pawn chain, plus the 4th pawn here. While white has pawn chains like this, and then too few pawns on this side, okay? And whenever you have this kind of a structure, white has 2 main ideas. Actually, when the knight is already here, they only have one. The one idea they have is to play this pawn to b4 and to b5. This is called the minority attack. Allow me to set up the board a little bit. Well, I can't do board setup in this position, but what they want to do is to play b4, b5, then take on c6. When you take back, this pawn becomes weak. They want to create pawn weaknesses. This is called the minority attack. And this is really dangerous, guys. If they get to play it without any counterplay, they can have a very good position. This is why those who know how to play chess will actually play their rook to this square, b1, so they can push the pawn very easily. Now, if they had not played, for example, knight to c3, let's say they played c4 right here, and we played, let's say, knight c3, knight f6, which is not really the main line I play myself, and I take back. Now they have a different plan. They can actually play this move. Again, we have the Carlsbad structure, and they can still bring the knight to f3 and plan the minority attack. making our pawns weak. When this pawn gets here, if you take it, you have weaknesses here. If you don't take, they can take back, you have a weakness. If you push your pawn to the side, say, these are not the best moves, guys, just bear with me, so I explain. If you play here, if I take, you have this pawn weakness. If they take, eventually what happens is you take back with the pawn because this knight is already here. Say, for example, takes this pawn, you take back, and this pawn is very weak. That's what they're looking for. And also, if you push your pawn, then what is it, Telo? I'm talking too fast. Okay. Telo tells me I'm talking too fast. So again, if they take the pawn on c5, then this becomes an isolated pawn. Okay, so those are the ideas behind the minority attack. But before this knight comes to f3, they have a second plan. And that plan is to play the bishop out here. Let's say we play bishop to e2. Then they play the knight to e2. We castle. Then they play the move f3. And their plan is going to play f3 and e4. So let's say knights, these are not the best moves. I'm just giving you an example. This is their second plan. So guys, you really need to know what to do against this exchange Queen's Gambit line. The grandmaster coaches who have taught their children how to play it, and the plans are very, very simple, and even Kenyans are playing it by the way nowadays. So knowing these lines would really, really help you. But worry not, that's why I'm here, to make your life very easy, all right? So I'll start with the sort of one of the main ideas. Normally d4, d5, if someone plays knight to f3, my recommended move is knight to f6. And now, if they play c4, I recommend e3. I hope you've understood, e6, sorry. I hope you've understood why I'm recommending e6 in this position, all right? And many people will pick, if they're getting into the exchange Queen's Gambit, and then they will play here to pin our knight, all right? Of course, we can't play a random move like this because they'll take, maybe actually before they take, they'll bring the knight out. They want to attack this pawn. Okay, so that's their plan. So it's always just generally a good idea to play this move, defending this pawn. They bring the knight out. And the move I want us to play is this move here. In fact, we can play it at any stage. We can play it, let's say when they play this move, we play this first. The moment this bishop comes immediately, we should actually attack it. And I'll explain the difference why this bishop is attacked right now immediately, as opposed to a bit later. Because you want this bishop to come back here, or at some point to take. So often, this is the move they go to. Where you don't want the bishop to go to is here, okay, initially. And I'll explain the difference very shortly, okay? So let's go back, pick, bishop, let's do knight to c3 because it transposes nicely. We bring our pawn to c3, bishop comes to g5. This is the main idea. You may be tempted to play here, but don't play here first, guys. Don't play bishop to e7. This is not the move I want you to play. I want you to play here immediately, okay? Because white can either play to h4, or they can play to f4. If they play to f4, then now you can bring a bishop here in one move, and you've won a move, okay? Because now if they take, you take back. Look at the difference. If they play here and you bring your bishop here first, let's say they play d3, then you play here, and they bring their bishop back to f4. Now you move your bishop 2 times, and it's very wasteful. You don't want to do that. So what you do first, ask the bishop, where are you going? Before you ask the bishop first. If it goes here, then you saved a move. Bishop to d6. Most likely you'll trade. And if they go to h4, which is their best move, then now your bishop is okay in this square. So you ask this bishop a question first, and based on where they move to, you can move your bishop to the right square once, all right? I hope that is clear, guys, what I'm trying to explain. If there's a question, please put it. I'm breaking up a lot. Is that true, guys? Am I breaking up? Can you hear me, guys, or I'm breaking up? If you can hear me clearly, thumbs up.
You're not breaking for me.
Great, great. Thank you, guys. All right.
You're okay. You're not breaking up.
Yeah, you're
All
not.
right, guys. Okay, had you guys. So, Aboda, please check your internet.
You're not breaking up for me.
Okay, just in chat. Don't talk. Just put in chat. All right. I can see in chat. So this is the idea. Now, the next moves are very, very, very important. In this position, you may be tempted to ask why. Say, for example, let's say here, why can't we play this very nice looking move, bishop to f5? Because one of the things that happened when the pawn on d5 was taken, here, they take like this, they take like this. Now our bishop can breathe again. So why can't we play after bishop to g5? Why is this a bad move, guys? Who can tell me why this is a bad move? Speaking too fast, Darren. Okay, fine. I'll slow down a little bit. Why is that a bad move, guys? Bishop f5. It's not a good move, I'll tell you. We spoke about it earlier. Because now if this pawn is attacked, okay, and actually a better transposition is to start with this so it's easier to explain. This. After this move, why is this move not like a very nice move? It's not like a pleasant move. Why? Who knows? The pawn on b7 is weak. That is correct. So what do you think is going to happen with this pawn on b7 that is weak? Well, the queen can come here attacking this pawn. Okay, queen to b3, and defending it is hard. Normally, in these kinds of positions, we have a very nice defense, queen to b6, which is normally enough to defend, okay? Because white doesn't want to capture. If you capture, you move my pawn towards the center, you open for my rook, and I'm very happy. But in this position, there's a serious problem. And this is that problem. Because now white will also take on f6, breaking the pawns. And guys, even though black has a bishop pair, this pawn structure is really bad, guys. And I will not even take, by the way, I'll not take your queen. I'll just take here right away. All right? Have you seen? So because of breaking up of these pawns, I really can't play my bishop out to f5 because I cannot defend this move with this move. If I can defend with queen to b6, I'm very happy to play it. In most lines where you've played this kind of a structure, queen to b6 is fine, okay? But in this position, because this queen is also stopping white from doubling our pawns on f6, then this is not a good move because takes, for example, and takes here, all right? So I'm explaining that because something different. After bishop to g5, the correct move is actually h6. We've seen it. Bishop a, bishop to, let me say, e7. Now there's a difference. Now, if white carelessly plays e3, now our bishop can move happily to f5. And it should move to f5. Because, by the way, this is almost like our bad bishop. It's the bishop that is blocked by our central pawns, right? So we can easily give it out comfortably here. I'm very happy to knock it off, okay? I'm very happy to take it because when you take back, life is good, guys. You've given up your good bishop, I've given up my bad bishop. And what if now white tries the same trick? Queen to b3, attacking the weak pawn on b7. Now our knight is protected by a bishop. So our queen is very happy, go to b6. If you take it, I take back, you take my knight, I take with the bishop, and I have a bishop pair, my pawn structure is good, and black is very, very happy in this position, okay? I hope you understand this very important. These are the small details that make very strong players very strong. So I know these things. I don't have to, there's no calculation in this. It's just knowing and understanding they're called nuances, small details about openings, all right? So this is why you'll see for most Grandmaster games, if you look at Magnus Carlsen's game as white in this position, you'll find Magnus Carlsen plays queen to c2. Why? To stop bishop to f5, all right? And that's the best move. Remember guys, if they don't play queen to c2, they play natural moves. You're very happy you play here. This is the best move because they can't keep your bishop on that diagonal. You take it and you take back, all right? And then you castle, and we'll look at how to deal with this minority attack a bit later. Actually, I can tell you right away. Let's say we'll see it actually in the next line, all right? So this is why it's best for white to play queen to c7, queen to c2 to stop the bishop from going out. No problem. And here, please pay a lot of attention. You must play these moves in this sequence. You do not want to play any other sequence, otherwise you may find yourself in trouble. The first move you want to play is to castle, all right? White continues with their plan. They want to bring the bishop to d3, okay? And now you bring your rook to e8, okay? You bring your rook to e8. When they bring their bishop, oh, look at that beautiful battery, queen and bishop attacking at your king side. Then this is the secret move that Dr. Victor has planned for you. Knight to e4. Attacked once, twice, 3 times, defended only 1 time. All right? If you write on my board, I'm going to remove you from the class, guys. Remember that? Okay? However, they can't freely take our knight because, guys, this guy is hanging. All right? Just take your bishop. And I'm very happy. In fact, this is super easy. In fact, I could even take this guy first. Maybe this is even winning material if I'm not mistaken. Because now it's a fork. And if you take like this, I can always take back. This actually is winning material. Let me just double check that. Yeah, this is winning material immediately. Because you're winning a piece. See, because you take here. If now you take the bishop, I take back. And the fork remains. All right? So this is a very bad move, guys. They can't play here because you take like this and you're forking those 2 pieces. When they take your bishop, you take with the queen. Okay? Now this pawn is defended twice. All right? So they can't take that knight. Their best move is to take your bishop right now. And how do you take, guys? How do you take? Queen takes, all right? That is the main line. Queen takes in this position, all right? And their best move, now you're defended 1, 2, 3 times. They just can't take. Like now if they take on e4, very bad move, of course. This is a fork. And you're winning material. This is a simple fork. So they can't do that anymore. So to repeat, sorry, infinite analysis, you can stop this guy. Yeah, lock it there. So and to repeat what I said in this particular position so you can follow clearly the idea, all right? c4, we are playing e6. They bring out their knight. They can take fast, no problem. Let them bring out the knight, say, to c3. And we just play the move c6, making the Carlsbad structure. The moment they bring their bishop, whatever time, you attack it fast before you play your bishop, all right? In this case, most guys will play to h4, which is the best move. Now you bring your bishop to e7. Remember, if instead they go to f4, you again bring the bishop straight up to d6, immediately challenging that bishop, okay? So you're happy either way. And after bishop to h4, bishop to e7, they should play queen to c2, okay? So that they can stop your bishop from going to f5, because now your bishop was ready to go there. given that you could play bishop to b6, queen to b6 to defend your pawn on b7, which is this. If they played e3 here, we would play now bishop to f5, because we are ready to defend this pawn like this, okay? And they can't double our pawns because the bishop has taken over from the queen to defend that knight, all right? So, and if they play bishop to d3, we'll just take it back, and we castle, all right? Yeah, I hope that is very clear in terms of what we are presenting in that position. So instead of, why is this not going back? Oh, I'm on the wrong. Okay. So here instead they should play queen to c2, we castle, they now play e3, and we bring our rook to e8, bishop to d3, and the star move, guys. What is the move here? Put it in chat, guys. What is the move?
Knight e4.
Knight e4, correct. And knight e4, they cannot take our knight. If they take our knight, what do we play? Hera, what do you play?
Bishop times
Pawn.
h4.
No, don't play bishop times h4. You play pawn times, because this way you win a piece. You're attacking this piece, you're attacking this piece, and you're still attacking this piece. It's like a, I don't know, it's not a fork anymore because you're attacking three things at the same time, right? And if they take your bishop, you take with the queen. You take with the queen. Let me overwrite this. You take with the queen, and you're still attacking these two guys. And the pawn is defended twice, you're winning a piece. All right? Whose video is this where they're playing? This is John Carson. Yeah. There we go. All right. So instead, when you play knight to e4, their best move is to take your bishop first, and you go ahead and take with your queen. All right. Now taking here doesn't help them. So their best move, guys, is for them to castle. All right. That's the best move. And when they play that, now we bring our bishop f5. Okay. The clever guys will see two things. The clever opponent, they will see that this knight is pinned to your bishop. It's pinned here. They can see there's a pin here. So a natural move they'll try and use to play here, so that their next move is to try and play here and attack our knight. But that's really what you want them to do. We finish our development. We are attacking this pawn, this knight twice. If they do nothing, we'll just pick, and pick again, winning a pawn. Let's say they play h3. H3, which is a bad move. We'll take this knight. We take back, and we just take. We are very happy. We are chilling. We are a pawn up, and we are completely winning. All right? So, okay, much better, but almost completely winning. So they have to do something. And their plan was actually to attack us like this. And guys, if this knight moves back, see what happens. We lose a piece, and we are completely losing. Okay? But worry not. That was really what you wanted to do. Here, you actually now pick this knight. And white has to be very, very careful. Because here, if they take this pawn, if they take this knight, then already they're losing because I take the bishop. If they take with the queen, I'm attacking the queen. I once again take this knight, take back, and I take with my queen, and I'm chilling, right? Alternatively, if they take my bishop, which is what they should do, I take this other knight, all right? And they have to be very careful, and they're supposed to take this knight. And it's still not very nice for them, by the way, because I will save my knight and I'm attacking this pawn. And once they defend it, I have this very nice move, f6, opening this line. So there's a lot happening. John Carson, you're making faces. Please stop. Thank you. So let's start from here again. This is the move that I want us to play. Bishop to f5, because it forces all these trades, okay? And in this position, the other move they can try is to play here so that they can do the minority attack. They cannot do it right away. Say, for example, here, because, oopsie, queen just takes, right? But now, when they bring their knight, this is what you wanted. Take the knight, attacking the rook. Whichever way you take, often you probably have to take with the pawn in this situation. I take your bishop, take back, and we're just chilling. Not only are we chilling, we can actually play this very nice move, keeping big control on this weak square. One day I'll teach you guys about weak pawns. This pawn is weak. It's a backward pawn. The biggest problem with a weak pawn is the square in front of it. So I'll play here. I'm playing some random moves. Play my knight here. Just random moves and bring this knight here. And the knight is going to this square. And this position is already much better for black. Very simple chess. Very, very simple chess in this position. So this is a very potent and very important move. Bishop to f5, because now you can take here in many lines, all right? Their best try is actually to play this move to e4, e5. They want to play f3. I'm not worried. We bring out our knight. And their best move is actually to attack us. We still take. They should take our bishop. That's their best move. Because again, if they take here, maybe they could also try this one first, but there's this check. Can you see that? How do they defend it? If they bring, let's say, the queen, I can just take this guy immediately. And this is, you probably have to take this guy back, and the position is not very good. I can actually take your knight right now, and I'm a piece up in this situation. All right? If I take check and you block with the rook, this is even more interesting. There's a check. Here, you guys are very good at calculating, but there's this nice check here. All right? So this check you can't take with the bishop because I take your queen. And you can't take with the rook because it's pinned. So and you can't move your king away, by the way, because I just take the rook. All right? And you can't also just move your king here, this other side, defending the rook, because I take this way, attacking your queen, and there's a discovery. And you probably have to give up your queen, but that's the best move. In this position, queen times is the best move. So the only move you can do in this check is to actually take like this. Okay, and when you take, I play queen takes on d4, discovering an attack on your queen. Your best move is surprisingly queen here actually, and then bishop just takes here, and you're chilling. You're, I think, 2 pawns up. This is a +5 position. I know it's quite complicated. You have to study it a little bit more. I'll just go over it once again. That knight d7 is what you're playing in this position. They attack your pawn, they attack your knight, and you pick on c3. The move they have to play, this move doesn't work. We've just seen it. There's check, rook blocks, knight comes, queen takes it, we attack your queen. We've seen this line. And they also cannot take this knight, because if they take that knight, we take the bishop first. If they take with the knight, then this check happens. We've seen that this is a very nice position, your pawn up. And if they take with the queen, then we still win this pawn, taking here, they take back. So the only move they have in this position is to take our bishop, which is the best moves, equal position. And now we take this other knight. Okay, leave that one where it was. they should take back this knight. If they take the other knight, this is really bad, guys. What move would you play here if you're black and it's your turn to play and your opponent has just blundered like that? What move would you play? What move? Oh, analysis. Okay, knight to c4. Okay. Remember that this is a weak pawn. This square is juicy, a knight outpost. Even if you're not winning material, which we are in this position, then you still want to bring your knight here. So even if I was blind and I didn't see that I'm winning a pawn, I would still play it, all right? And you can't even protect the pawn by moving it forward because knight to e3 is attacking your bishop, attacking your queen, attacking your rook. And you're just winning in that position, all right? So here, after you take on e5, they have to take back this guy. Now you save your knight here, okay? And you're attacking this pawn. So they don't have an option. They must play here. These pawns look very strong, guys. Ooh, I'm scared. But only for a second, because you play, they move f6. That's the best move, guys. And after f6, it's kind of hard. If they try and pick, queen takes, this is hanging, this is a backward pawn, our knight is going to come here, and we have a very nice outpost. We'll double rooks on this file. Even though they have a bishop versus knight, we have something to play against. In this position, none of you should lose, right? So that is the main line in this kind of position. And I want you to just try and keep that in mind. h6 immediately. Okay, bishop to h4, you bring out your bishop. And now if they play e3, bring the bishop to f5. And what you will do is just trade off this bishop, castle. When they castle, you do the exact same thing. You can actually play here right away now, okay, because they don't have a bishop. You're attacking this bishop. If they take it, you take here. Same position, same ideas, and life is good. All right. What else? Let me see. Let me go forward here a little bit. So here, what are some of the ideas that your opponent may have? Let's say they can try this Maroczy bind business once again. Knight d7, they can try the same. It's not Maroczy bind. What do you call this? Minority attack. And here, guys, there's a nice idea against this concept, which is this. You can actually play in this position b5. Their options are limited. They can try a4 because it's defended twice, but then you have to do this pawn cube. Very important move, guys, that I want you to remember that this is an option. And you're actually better because it's difficult to know what they can play. If they take on b5, you can take like this, attacking their knight. They attack your knight. You can actually take with the knight. You're attacking their rook, so they don't have that option. They're losing. And they can't even take your knight first because this is a fork attacking the queen as well. So the options are limited. Okay. What else can they try? B times a5. I think you attack the knight first, and this is the important part that you have to pay attention to. So they can't pick back your pawn. Let's say the knight goes back, attacking the pawn, and you, oh, this is a nice move actually. Okay, there are two moves. This is the one that is very easy, that you can remember easily. This pawn is going nowhere for the time being. But there's another move here, which is quite interesting, because if they take with the queen, if they take with the pawn, then the knight on b can take this way. And it looks like you're losing material, but this is actually quite bad. The position is not pleasant. This knight really has nowhere to go. This fork happens. All right. So these are tactics. You guys can figure them out. I just want to give an idea how to handle this minority attack. And who is this writing on my screen? It gave me a name. I forgot. I wanted to kick that person out. So this is the this is the idea when they play F4, remember to play A5. And you're chilling, guys. You're chilling. This is the exchange Queen's Gambit. Any question, guys? I hope it makes some sense what I've said in this position, because it's a fairly common line. People play this a lot, guys. People play this a lot, all right, in those championships. Now, the reason I like the system I play is because when someone plays C4, the English, guess what I play, guys? Let's play E6. Because now if they play, okay, they may decide to play other lines, but the ideas are similar. I'm just going to play here. Okay. And you play this. I may play this. This is a bit of a different line. Takes, bishop comes out, very similar. They just play this move. All right. Now here you have to remember, by the way, it's important to show you this, guys, that they can play let's say this move. Remember to chase this bishop away. They go back one step, and then you bring out your bishop. They bring the bishop out to what do you call this square? D3. And then we castle. And now they bring their knight out to this square. The plan is very simple. They want to play here and then to play here. Okay? We bring out our knight. And the moment they play this move, guys, the moment they play that move, it has a serious drawback. And the drawback is that the pawns in the center become very weak, and you can actually play here immediately. So that's the move you're going to play. It will give you an isolated pawn at some point, but this is the general idea. It's not in this position exactly. There are different moves that you want to think about, but one of the ideas is the moment they're thinking of playing E4, you'll be able to play a move like C5. And that's the general idea against this. This is a more complicated line, so you want to look at it using your engines in the house, all right? I want to pivot quickly to a main line. Like, let's say this was the position. Let's say this is played, something like this. This is not very common. So in this position, guys, I want to teach you something that I recommend. It's called the semi-slav. Just bring your pawn up one step. There, so you make this triangle setup in this position. Leave this bishop alone for the time being. You only move it out if you are pinned. And this is different from the exchange situation. They bring out their knight. We'll bring out our knight to d7. This knight goes to d7, guys. Okay. They bring out their bishop. And the moment they bring their bishop, now I'll take this pawn. And they take with their bishop. I attack this bishop. There are three places this bishop can go to. There's this, and there's this. The most common place is this one. The lines differ a little bit, depending on where they've gone, but most of your categories will play bishop to d3. Now, this is a backward pawn. You don't want to have this kind of a weakness. So we have to very quickly find a way to move it forward. And in the opening, you need to figure out where your pieces are going. And in this kind of situation, I want to bring this bishop to this diagonal. I want to play this pawn forward. When it's taken, my bishop takes back. And then I castle on this side. All right? So here you play your bishop to b7. This is a very bad bishop, guys. It's being blocked by the pawn. So this pawn must move forward. If it's successful, then this bishop becomes a monster. And that's what we want. And this is our pawn break. We break up this pawn center for white. Okay, so that's where the bishop is going. So here, white has two possibilities. They can play what I call a slow move and a fast move. The slow move is castling because it's not threatening us immediately. And what we do when they play the slow move is we start by defending this pawn. We cannot play this immediately, okay? Because and I think Ananda may have played something like this, but you lose a pawn, okay? This pawn is lost because it's not defended. So you want to move this pawn, but first you defend your b5 pawn. Remember, these guys are still staying on this side. It's very tempting to go and castle first. But in many queen's pawn endings, you really need to sort out your queen side. Because if you delay, you'll find you can't sort it out. Like, if you fail to play this move, guys, you can resign. Because this bishop is terrible. You're like a piece down. So this move must be played at the earliest opportunity. So now, after they've castled, what white wants to do all along is to just play this pawn move. Super center, they want to attack your knight. And now you're ready to play your very nice c5 move. And you have the bishop being unleashed. And this center is being broken. All right? Who's talking, guys? I'm hearing someone is talking. Please mute your mics. I can't see the person who's talking, but please mute your mic. So this is the idea. You want to put this pawn here. The best move is actually to play here. You don't want to take it. It's a trap. But if they take simple chess, guys, new variation, what do? Just knight takes. And already you're much better because you're attacking this bishop 2 times and you're attacking this pawn 3 times. And these kinds of mistakes happen all the time. You are black, but already you're so much better, all right? Normally they'll push like this. This pawn is attacked 1, 2, 3 times and defended twice. 1, 2. But it's a trap, guys. Don't take this pawn, okay? If you take it, overwrite number 1, the first thing you'll see, your king is in the center. They'll take back, okay? And now it's terrible to take this one, all right? They'll take it. And when you take back, your bishop is undefended. There's so much they can do. I mean, the most obvious is even just a move like this, which is not the best move. They have other moves. And when you take back, they take your queen. You've not won anything. They're better in development. You're far behind in development, in a very bad position. You're actually just losing. So you don't take this pawn when this is pushed. Instead, you just continue queen to c7. All right? This is where you want to take your piece. Normally, they take this pawn. You take it back. They attack this pawn like this. All right? And your queen just defends it. That's it. This is what this is the main line that I want you to understand. Once you understand it up to here, you're very good. This is the main line, the best try. Like in world championships, this is what is played. They play d5 here. You play queen to c7. Okay? And then you begin to develop your ideas from here. If they play right now, knight there immediately, just queen to c6, and you're chilling, guys. You're chilling. Life is good. Okay? Don't play a move like this yet. This is a very weakening move. You have squared weaknesses all over. You don't want to do that. So let's say they play, let me see what kind of a move can they try. Let's try this move, for example. Does it work? New variation. Okay, guys, you look at this from home. There's a move like c4. Look at this bishop is coming out with check. Then you can castle. Life is good. All right. So I'll go back to this line and show you again what I'm talking about. D4, D5, this is, we started as, it can start as D4, D5, can start as the English, you know. Then they can play E3, a very common line. Make the triangle, guys, make the triangle. They bring out the knight, you bring out your knight, leave this bishop home. The moment they move that bishop, you don't want to take before they move the bishop because you want them to move the bishop twice. Okay, now you can take, they take back, and you attack that bishop, it moves away, you develop your bishop. Great tempi. What's our priority, guys? We must move this pawn, okay? If they castle, we protect our b5 pawn first by playing a6. Then when they start the attack, we also play c5. And once you have your pawn break here, guys, this is a good position. You're chilling and you're very happy. But instead of castling, white can play the first move. The first move is e4. Now you don't, it's very fast because they're going to attack us. They want to play e5. And don't play e5. So if you play, you can't play c5 immediately. And if you play this move, which is very slow, they play e5 immediately, and guys, your life is in danger. Okay? Because knight, can they even take it? Actually, I'm saying they can take it. Takes, c takes, and this position is actually lost, because this bishop will never become alive. And if you take like this, that's even worse, guys, because this structure will be attacked thoroughly in this line. So you don't want to do that. If you play that as white, sorry, overwrite, one moment. You don't want to play this. This is really bad. The attack that's coming here is you'll not survive. They'll move the knight away. They play f4, f5, f6, and it's curtains, right? So if they play e4 in this position, please remember, don't play a slow move. If you play this slow move, you lose the game. Fortunately, you've attended my class, and the correct first move is to actually attack their knight first. All right? And this knight, their best square is this. And you follow up with now c5 immediately, because now that pawn can't be taken. And now you're attacking here 2 times. All right? And their best move is to take here. You take back. They take back. You take with your bishop. All right? Can you notice they have a check, a very powerful check? Yes, they do. But you have a surprise for them, bishop to b5. Your king moves up to e7, guys. And in this line, that queen is perfectly safe. And in fact, white is in a lot of trouble. Let's say white castles, random example. We have queen. Okay, we can always take, making our king safer. This is easy. But even if you didn't take, look at this position. Queen here, okay? Here, our king is in the center, so I definitely want to take. We have a lead in development. They take back. Sorry. In main line. They take back, and I just bring my rook to the center. My king is in the center. I have a lead in development. The pawn's hanging all over. This is tough, guys. I don't even know if I can save this pawn or not. Let's say this is so bad, actually. I'm threatening checkmate. What can they do? Let's say bishop here. This pawn is falling. It's all bad, okay? So just remember this. The first move, they have a slow move and a fast move. After this, and bishop to b7, if they play the first move, which is e4, you don't have time for this slow move, guys. You play the first move, all right? Okay, and now when they play here, you push your pawn. They take, you take back. They take back, you take with this guy. When they check you, king to e7, and you are chilling, all right? Good. So this is the best move, actually. And this is still hanging, like it's so bad. I don't even know what they can do here. Instead, if they don't take that pawn, they attack your knight here in this position. Surprise, surprise, actually you have this move, take, queen takes, and your knight cannot come out to the center to d5. It's not blocked, and you're actually quite okay in this position. I hope that makes sense, guys. I hope that makes sense. Lee Imani Munene. Let me find Lee Imani from the chat here. Dennis, can you please exit Lee Imani from the group, please, and don't add him for the remaining next classes. So I'm serious.
So what did I do?
I'm looking at your posts on chat. So
What did I do?
Look at your post on chat, Lee, and please mute your mic. So I hope this is very clear, guys. This is the main idea that I want us to pay attention to without interruptions. Sorry. Here we go. So this is the main line. Now I'll show you something I play It's a bit dangerous. If you don't play it all together, then it's not as easy. But that's the main line, guys. Those are the main lines for d4, d5. I hope it's sort of something that you can help you. C times d5 we've looked at. There's also, by the way, in this position, they can play bishop to g5, pinning your knight. And we can play something very similar. Just now, instead, now that our bishop is pinned, now you can bring out. This is not like when they have taken. You bring your bishop out, all right? And then they now played e3. Same thing, guys, okay? Knight out. Our knight comes out to the same square. Bishop comes out. Once again, we take it. We take back. And we play the exact same move. Bishop goes back. Our bishop to b7. Again, same ideas. If they castle, then we play a6. And now we are ready to play c5. The difference is they brought their bishop out, they brought our bishop out. And that's fine. And if they don't castle and they play the first move, guys, what's the move here? You've been to my class, attack the knight, knight goes up, and follow it up with c5, all right? Take, take, take. But can the bishop take here? No, the bishop cannot take. There'll be, you lose something. Yeah, here you cannot take back immediately. Interesting. Let's see, here I've not looked at it. That is still hanging. And e5, knight to d5, take the bishop, queen takes bishop, rook tries to defend the pawn, and you cannot. Okay, it's even worse, because many other things are going to go wrong. This guy is going to get pinned. This is being attacked. If you castle, then there's a rook coming here. And that guy is pinned and can't be defended. Okay, let's say the knight can come back, but a bishop can also appear from the side. Takes bishop. All right, so yeah, so this is, I hope that went a bit fast, but I hope you can remember what I'm saying in these lines. It's very similar. Castles there, e4, c5. If they play the first move, which is e4 immediately, we start by playing b4, c5. But in this instance, remember, guys, that we are not really trying to take back this pawn immediately, because if you take it immediately, what I'm not very happy about is this move e5. Even though the engine says you're still not losing because you have this move, I'm not a big fan of that particular line. So we just sacrifice that pawn temporarily and we castle. And we already, we're kind of fine, by the way. We're still attacking this pawn. So let's see if they try and defend it like this. Attack the bishop. Yeah, that's all there is to it, actually. Yeah. Attacking 2 times, takes, and that pawn falls. All right, guys. So here we are, guys. I hope that has been useful. Today is a very short class. I didn't intend, we'll do a few more openings tomorrow. I thought we may cover a lot today. That hasn't happened. But we have covered some of the basics in this line. Tomorrow, you can ask me questions if you have. But tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll cover.
Coach, are you ending the meeting early today?
We've covered the whole hour, man.
Yeah, why are you holding the meeting today?
It's a whole
That's
hour. You
not-
guys are not tired.
That's not long. Yeah, we're not tired.
It's extremely long.
13 minutes.
Can I repeat the English again too fast? Okay. Let me go. No, I'm not recommending. I only recommend the openings that you know. So let me repeat the English. So the English
I did
opening.
the openings in leeches.
Yeah, so that's a good one. Yeah. So if C4 has become quite problematic, and one of the things you want to try and do against C4 is just transpose, just play the move e6. Because most likely at some point, your opponent will play this move and you play that move. And it's a transposition. Although they can play the moves, they can play a move like d3 or even b3, okay? They're not so complicated. Actually, whatever they play here, if they play d3 or they play b3, in those lines, you can still play d5, all right? So it's a fairly simple system that I'm teaching you guys that can help you navigate and get out of most difficult situations. By the way, if they allow you, listen. If they allow you to, you'll actually play this move. You punish them for not having played d4. And this happens in the reti, happens in this kind of a structure. They really have to play, like in this position, they should play. If they don't take, they should play e3, all right? And even here, by the way, you can still play. Quite interesting. So it's kind of tough. The move that probably is a bit more challenging is this. You still play d5, and let's say they play a knight out. Actually, that can't even happen because there's a threat. So this is already very difficult for your opponent, all right? So against the English, I just recommend play e6. And your idea is that eventually it will transpose most likely to something like this that you already know, which is the text that we've looked at this slide. And if they don't take and they play, for example, e3, we know what we are doing. Make the triangle, bring your knight out first, take that pawn, attack. There we go. Somebody is not muted. Who is that? That's Carson. So take that pawn and remember here, guys, if they play the slow move, which is castles, we play a6 first, then you follow it up with c, c5. But if they played d5, guys, remember this is a trap. Don't take it. Queen to c7 is our move, all right? That's what you're playing. They take, we take back. If they attack our pawn, queen to c6, and we're just chilling, all right? If instead they play, remember that if they play d5 and you try and take it because you aren't paying attention in class, you're not winning. Actually, you're much worse. You're probably losing the game. That pawn was not free. You are behind in development. Your position is very, very bad, right? Great. So the other thing is what? Remember that if they play the first move, guys, if they play in this position, they play the first move, which is e4, then you actually start by playing b4, okay? Then c5, takes, bishop takes, when they check us, queen to e7, and we can laugh, all right? All right, good. So you have to practice these things, guys, put on leeches and try and get better at it.
I'm playing a match right now.
What other line can I show you guys that's very fast? Maybe I will look at, yeah. There's something guys play a lot, guys. Oh, this one. They played d4, d5, okay? So this, knight f3, knight c6. So when someone plays this bishop out here first, this is called the London. When they block it, it's called the Cole system, okay? And the Cole system, we just play our favorite move, e6, open for our bishop. They bring their bishop out to a very nice position, right? Now in the Cole, the move we want to play is c5. Strike the center immediately. And if they play a move like castling, we will play this move immediately. Get this bishop off this very strong diagonal, all right? Remember, this is not always a good move by the way, guys. It's not always a good move. Here it is a good move, but not always a good move because it can always be attacked like this, and it's very hard to defend, all right? But in this position, if they allow you, you play it, they go back, and then you must remember to play this move immediately, all right? Because now they cannot play here, you'll play d4. All right. So remember that if ever you get this chance and they play queen, they allow you to do this, you must play this move. This is the only move that gives you the advantage. Okay? Because it defends your knight immediately, and you want to defend your rook, defends your pawn. And now if they play here, you can play a6. This is not the case. Let's say you didn't play that immediately, unless you played a move like this. Now if they attack you, this is not so easy, guys, because now they attack you again, and you can't play here because this rook is hanging. Takes, oopsie daisy, you are a whole rook down. All right. So remember to play here immediately. Okay. And once you've played it, the idea is very simple, guys. What they want to do is now if they play this move, you can actually push your pawn. And if they start by blocking your pawn, for example, protect your rook. Because now if they play this move and you can't push your pawn, you don't want to, you can just play here. And now if they take, the rook is defended. Remember that in these queen's pawn games, sorting out your queen side is a very important strategy. All right. Great. So I hope that is quite clear. And then let's see here. There's a move, by the way, that people play a lot. I've seen, let's go back, not here actually. Okay, so here here knight f6, e3, bishop d3, and then now we play c5. So they can't allow you to play c4. There are two ways to stop you. One is to play this right away. If they play c3, this is a bad move, guys. It's bad because they'll play here, and now you really can't. It's hard to stop the same ideas that they had. You're not ready to do the kind of move that you wanted to play on the side. So no need to push that pawn. This is the Kole Koltanowski. And the other way to stop you is to play this move. And this is the most dangerous one. This is the main reason why I'm actually showing you this line. Mehul played this a lot and he won so many games. Man, he crushed me in this line because I didn't bother to read it. I thought the call is like a weak system. Like, seriously? Polga won so many games playing the Kole against people before Indians came out. He discovered it a long time ago. So this is the Kole Zukatot, where they'll put the bishop here. Okay? They'll bring this bishop here. They'll bring this knight here. They'll bring this knight to e5. Then they'll bring the pawn to f4. Then they'll castle, and the attacks become very tricky. You'll see all these things. Okay, so we continue. Knight c6. They bring the bishop out. We bring our bishop out to d6 here. They may castle, for example, here. b6, knight to, this is all according to their plan. Okay, we castle. They bring the knight to if. These are all the moves. These are the moves they play. They actually play these moves like almost automatically. It's a system. That's why it's called a system. They're attacking our knight. You don't want to move this knight away yet. We play the bishop here. Okay. Bishop to b7 to protect our knight. And then this is the move they wanted to play all along. Look at how strong that knight looks in the center. Man, that's a dangerous knight. Okay. And now we bring our rook to the c file, remembering this idea of sorting out our queen side many, many times, because this is where our counterplay is going to be. Now, guys, you may be tempted to play a move like this, which is generally a good move. Looks like a good move in most lines. You're attacking this bishop, right? And if it moves away, you feel you've achieved something. The problem is when you play your next move, they'll just kick your knight away. Knight has to go back, and the bishop comes back. Okay? However, if we change our move order and start by playing here, remember, white wants to bring this queen over here, so they can attack us and crush us, all right? But now, if they do that immediately, now I can play this move. Because this bishop, when it was here, it was doing something very important. It was protecting this pawn. So it meant that the bishop could move back. But when the queen has gone to f3, now this bishop can't move, because now this pawn is just hanging, and I take it, and I'm actually winning. Simple chess, all right? That's why when white has made all their improving moves, and they're now ready to bring the queen out, they must now stop our knight from going there. And that's why we've kept this knight here the whole time. They play, they move a3, stopping the knight from coming to b4, where it will kick out this bishop, will take the pawn. This knight has done its job in that square. Now we have to figure out how we are going to defend ourselves. There's an attack coming, guys. Look at this bishop. Look at this knight. Look at this bishop. Look at this knight. The queen is coming. You know, if you just play, say, random moves, let's play here. They can actually play a move like this and then kick our knight out. And guys, look at that dangerous attack. Like the knight is going nowhere. This, I think even a sacrifice here happens immediately. Look at that. Actually still works. This actually works. Can you see? And then the rook comes to f3 with a threat. So this dangerous attack, and I think this is what happened in my game because I didn't understand what I was supposed to do here. So the secret that I want you guys to remember is that we want to block this square. We want to put our knight here to stop all these guys. Knight goes to the center, almost end of story, right? So when they play the move a3, we want to be able to control this square. And the way to do that is we open up this bishop to control it. And we do that by moving this knight to e7. Exclamation mark. Very good move, right? And now, if they bring, say, the queen here, let's say they try the exact same, all right, sorry. Let's say they try the absolute same idea here. Then we can actually take whichever way, and our knight can always go to e4. And this story is over, okay? Nothing you can do. And if you don't take it immediately, we can actually, let's say you play a queen here attacking, we can actually now play our pawn. Oh, that's a free pawn, what I'm missing. Let's say, what's another way? Let's say they play here. It doesn't work. We can chase this guy away, and later on we can play f5, all right? So moving this knight to e4 begins to save, you know, so many things. First, this knight that was very strong, f6 is gonna chase it away, and you can trade off so many pieces. So that's the whole idea. And once you understand that, life is good. So they see that you're planning to come here. There's a way to stop it. They bring their queen. That's what they wanted to do. Because now if you bring your knight, they'll take it, you take back, they take again, and yeah, you know how it goes. You're a pawn down, you're not very happy. Of course, it's not a losing position, but it's not comfortable. This is where we get our second idea, okay? The second idea behind this move was for us to play this very nice pawn sacrifice here on b5, okay? Looks like a free pawn. It is. If they take it, I take this pawn of yours. Let's say you take with your bishop. I'm not sure how you'll take it back. And I take this guy. Can you see? And I have my counterplay in the center and on the queen side. And I'm just very comfortable. There's no attack anymore. White has to be very careful because now you can't just keep moving things forward. You try that, I think you'll be in a lot of trouble. Already there's a knight hanging here. So even if you defend it, already you're being attacked, guy. Look at this pawn falling. It's everything is loose in White's camp. So already black is better in this position. Very simple moves. And let's say you don't take it, and you decide, for example, what can you do here? I'm not even sure. Let's bring a rook into the game. Then we actually play. c4. And this game is over. Actually, this is winning a piece because after c4, the c3. So a lot of chess is basically understanding the opening, what's going on, what you should do, the nuances. And there are positions where actually, if you're allowed, your knight will go to can go to f5, then comes here after the bishop goes down to e7, and then you control e4. Let me give you another example of that. Say, for example, this move is played. There's knight f5 as a move. All right? Very possible, like this pawn is being attacked. It's defended by the queen, let's say here. Okay. Let's defend on f3. And now I think one of the key moves you want to consider is bishop to e7. This is a possible move. Okay. And the idea is when they attack us, knight goes here. Okay. And you're coming to e4 by force. I'm giving you an idea. These are ideas against the Kole Zuka taught, and these ideas work. They're very advanced. Coach read charts. Let me see. Coach, we can't go through 48 openings up as a technique. I'm sorry, Darren. Darren, if you want to learn, this is a very strong, you have to start learning your openings. You can't go through all 48, yes. I'm picking 2 or 3. I feel that if you've played chess for 3-4 years without openings, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Just be, and Darlene, you're disturbing. Timothy and Darlene are disturbing. I think, Dennis, if you're in chat, please do the necessary. A lot of your games will be lost in the opening, by the way, if you've not studied the opening. There are coaches who say learn technique, no need to study openings. Those are weak coaches. That's my view. I'll say it as it is. Look at all the Abhimanyu Mishra, 12-year-old grandmaster. His opening theory is better than all of us. So you must learn some opening theory. Okay. I mean, unless you're inventing chess, like you're the next Magnus Carlsen, I surrender. But if you're not at that level yet, please take time to study openings as well. Very important. All right. Great. So I want to leave it there, guys. I think we've covered quite a bit. Today, tomorrow, and the day after, those are the things that we look at. And hopefully you'll find some news. Remember what I said. If you already have your coach who has taught you a couple of things, stay with what your coach has taught you. All right. I don't change the last minute. But these are the things I play. I've practiced them. And they're useful. I've chosen very simple systems that can help you play it. We look tomorrow at the London system. Maybe I can look at the other Kole Koltanowski, where they play c3. And once again, just bring out your knight to, now in this case, bring your knight out to c6. Let's say, for example, the castle. Bring out your bishop to d6. This is one of the okay moves. There's a problem with that move. I'll explain in a short while. They'll bring the knight out, and you can go ahead and castle. And normally what they do is they take here, take, and then they push this pawn. All right. And that's really one of the key ideas. What you don't want to do immediately is to pick, because for some reason, this position has been known to be much better for white, but still it's a very simple line. This is not as complicated. The Kole Zuka taught is much more of a problem. This one is not as complicated. So here, one of the key things is just to try and play this move. The idea is what white is trying to do is to push this pawn one more step. Okay, that's why you have to play your queen to c7 to stop that move. Now they bring their rook, and now they want to play it anyway. And you have to study a bit, guys. There's no easy route in all of these things. And the move here is, let me increase, by the way, let me just check this. Let me increase to 6 engines, 6 threads, and confirm. Yeah, actually, it's been looked at by many engines in the past, and this is the move. A bit tricky, but chasers, we come back. Oh, we're attacking something here. This is, yeah, so it's not so easy anymore. All right. That's Kole Koltanowski, the other Kole system. Castle, normally they take here, or they can even start often, by the way, with the move, this, and you already have your e4 break. Yeah, and life is good. Okay. So normally what they do is before rook to e1, they take here. You take back, and then they play e4, and then remember this move, queen to e7. Okay, queen to c7, right? And surprisingly, they can't bring their rook immediately because this move, there's a serious attack here, and it's kind of hard, right? Queen here, h6 attack. Here, there's a sacrifice somewhere that I'm not a fan of recommending. It's kind of tough, so we leave it at this for the time being. Okay, this is a bit complicated. These are the best lines, but it's completely drawn. You'll have to study some of these things yourself and get better. I think the things I want you to remember is that in this position, in the cole, you play c5. Okay, bring out, if they allow you, you play c4. But once they play either c3 or b3, then you just continue, knight c6, bishop d6, castle, they take with their bishop, e4, queen c7, exclam. All right? That's it, guys. And actually, I think if they take here, you should take with the pawn. Yeah. Take with the pawn. And you have... Okay, let me see what people have in chat. True. Read chats. We should end now. Wait, the scotch. It's a class over. Let's continue. Not yet. BNB. It's 9, guys. Do not train new things. Focus on your strengths and look at the field. Analyze the game. See the weaknesses. Company in the game. Win. Okay. Okay, bro. Good advice. Yeah, my competitor Maniki. All right, guys. So I think I'm going to leave it at that, guys. This is pretty much what we will present. Remember what I've said. If you already have your openings that you studied, stick to that. This is for those people who do not have openings that you studied with your coaches, because I've seen a couple of openings that are not good, and I wouldn't want you to get into a losing position straight from the get-go. All right, so that's what I'm trying to do. I've seen a couple of guys, the openings are not okay. For those who have good openings, you have your coaches, you've worked on them, that's quite okay. The Scotch game, how do you play against the Scotch game? All right, let me show you that, guys, very quickly. If you're playing e4, e5, let's go to a new game. And I'll flip the board. If you're black, I'm only looking at black openings. E4, e5, so this. Knight c6, I'm assuming, and then they play d4, all right? So this pawn, you always take it. And there are two things here. But there's something called the Scotch gambit, where they don't take back and instead they bring their bishop to c4. This is a Scotch gambit. The plan is very simple. They want you to play knight f6, attacking this pawn, which is what you should play. But when this knight is attacked, don't move your knight away, guys. Leave it where it is and play this very nice move, d5. All right? Their best move is to come and pin your knight. But if they take your knight, you take their bishop. Okay? You take their bishop. And already in this position, you can see from the evaluation, white is lost. Okay, the line normally continues. Queen comes here, check, attacking this pawn, attacking our king. Bishop blocks, okay? And if they attack our pinned bishop immediately, our queen can just take this pawn, defending our bishop, and this is over. So normally what they do first, they take this pawn, you take with your bishop, and now they come and attack us. And since you're not taking a pawn, we look for the most active square for our queen. We bring it up to d5. And now if they take, we take back with the pawn, guys. Why? Their king is unsafe. Our king is safe. We're going to castle here the next move. They can't even check us, guys. Because if they check us, that's a Bote's gambit live, right? So they take, we take, and you ask them, why are you taking your queen? Why are you taking your king? There's nothing they can do. This position is going to be let's say they castle, because they can't castle this other side, or I don't know, just you can castle, you can bring the rook in, everything wins, black is much better. So let me repeat that Scotch Gambit a little bit. Like this, top comes out. You need to remember the only move. Don't play moves like bishop check, bishop c5. Those are bad moves, guys. You'll get into trouble. Knight f6, that's the move. When they attack your knight, leave it there, lady 5. If they take your knight, you take their knight. They check you, bishop blocks. They attack your knight right away, take the pawn. This is over. And if they take the pawn first, and you take it back, they attack your knight, queen to the center, most active square. Then you will castle on the queen side and checkmate your opponent, right? That's Scotch Gambit. Oh, sorry, and if they don't take your knight, they play here, then you play your knight to e4, and this is good enough. Say, for example, they play a very simple move, knight times d4. This is actually a very good move, but let's say you play here, this move.
Coach.
Yes,
Finishing.
We almost done. Takes here, takes with the pawn, and you take with the pawn. But if they take, let's say takes here, you take with the pawn, and they attack your knight, a very common mistake. Queen h4, guys. Queen h4. Okay, simple tactics. Okay, so this is a very common line. You bring your knight out. They'll almost always take there. You can bring out your knight. If they take with the bishop, no need to take with your bishop, because now they can just take back and you don't have a bishop pair. All right, you can take with the pawn right away, keep your bishop pair, and they can't chase your knight away because of this check. Okay, they have to castle first or something of that nature. All right, so that's the Scotch Gambit, but now the Scotch itself, they actually take back. And the most important move I recommend is actually to play bishop to c5. And now if they take your knight, attacking your queen, don't take, guys. Bring your queen up to f6. It's a mate threat. They try and run away, saving their knight. Good thing, save your knight, lose your king. So they see you, and they decide to play, let's say, let me play not the best move. Let's say queen here. That's not a good move. You take this way, guys, so that your bishop can come to d7, and your rook can come, you can castle to the queen side. They're very strong attack, okay? So instead of taking your knight, they can also bring their bishop out to defend that knight, also x-raying your bishop. So let's say you play a weak move like this, you lose a piece immediately because they take here, attacking your queen. When you take back, saving your queen, they take your bishop. All right, that was their plan. But what do? We still play queen to f6, guys, because you've learned these items from me. If they take this pawn, this knight, don't take back with the knight pawn, don't take back with the queen, take this one first. Still threatening checkmate. Okay, they must take back. And now you can still once again take like this, and you're much better. All right. And what else? Let's see. What else can they do? After queen to, after, they can also play this move right away. And here now your knight will come attacking, and it's not so easy because you have to defend this pawn, defending like this. I think we can castle and play d5 in the next move, right? I think no, actually that's losing a pawn immediately. This pawn is actually lost, so they don't have many options. Another option they can try actually is this move. Bishop to b6 is an idea. They bring out their knight. Here there's a secret line that I've taught somebody, so maybe we'll reserve it for a moment, but essentially there's a move that goes like this, then the bishop comes out, and you can actually castle here, surprisingly. Okay, and this is all good. So alternatively, you can play h6 first, bishop back. And once the bishop goes back, it looks like you can't castle, but you can. And it's a very good idea to castle in this position. All right? Because when you try this very bad move, this move. Takes, queen takes, attacking the bishop, attacking on that position. Bishop goes down. And in fact, you play a rook first to attack this pawn. These are all opening lines. These are lines you've looked at. Some people may tell you it's not important. It's super important. Makes your life very easy. This is a Scotch gambit, or the Scotch game, all right? Main ideas are here, they can take, bring out your bishop. They can bring their bishop out, actually. Then bring out your queen, f6. And there's this common move, by the way. C3, no issue. Just bring out your knight, okay? Anytime they take here, you take here first. That threat always exists, okay? Except when you have castle, then you can't do it. So let's say they play bishop to c4. Don't castle. Castle will be a bit of a mistake, because if you castle, now they can take here first. And if you take here, but the rest is not so complicated. I hope that is clear, guys. Tomorrow it's over. Let us, what's main line? It depends. People play their, I see a lot of experts, guys. 30% opening, 30% game, 40% tactics. Are we done? Yes, you're done, guys. Feel free to leave. It's way past time, guys. Finally, Rehema,
Bye.
yeah. All the best, guys. I hope it's been useful. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.
Bye.
Learn anything?
Bye.
Yeah,
What did you learn?
but I think all I learned the most